Some PM friend again. Okay.
It'll be in the window, so facing.
Whoa, it's loud.
That could be it.
I can't see anyone in chat except Joe.
What?
Oh yeah, it's really loud over there. It's loud.
So you got a lot of noise?
Okay.
All right, you're gonna get bus say. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Wait, I can't hear this.
Yeah, he'll get some headphones on here and it won't be as echoey.
Can you hear me there?
Tonight. What's that? Okay. What happened? My producer. Okay. We're muted. Sorry about that. So welcome guys to the Lindsay Badger's live stream tonight. This has been a process for all of us in the art community. And we wanted to make this stream as accessible as we could to everyone. And so there's a lot of moving parts tonight, so you're gonna have to work with us, but we are streaming on PopXcast. So if you are subscribed to us over on PopXcast, which was the podcast that Lindsay and I co-founded together all the way back 10 years ago, popxcast.com. We're streaming out there. We're also over on our live feed. So all of my friends that are hanging out with us over on PopXcast, welcome. It is so good to see you. What's up, Knuckles, Crosby, Jeremy Stoltz, Scotty. We got Sean. My gosh, Michael Joseph Murray, Darth Baca. What's up, guys? Welcome to this amazing broadcast. Over on the Twitch side, we have Sweeney, MisterBluray, just all the amazing people and creatives that are part of this. And on Facebook, I have no idea who's watching live on Facebook unless you actually comment. So I won't know who's watching unless you guys are actually commenting back to me. But we are working on what we're trying to do right now is we're getting Sidney in. Sidney was another one of Lindsay's amazing friends. And Sidney is in another country. And for some reason, his Zoom is not allowing him to access the panel to where he can see us and communicate with you guys, too, in real time. So we're trying to figure that out and navigate that in real time because this is one of those little hiccups we did not foresee or expect. But we're hoping to get things kicked off here in about 4 or 5 minutes. But we are just so delighted that you guys are joining. Whatever stream you guys are from tonight, whether it's PopX, whether it's my Joseph Burke Arts Facebook Live, whether it's the Remembering Lindsay Badger actual event that we posted, which was the event for this live stream. We even got this posted, I believe. This is going on Twitch. This is on YouTube. This is on Facebook Live. This is on this is going to 4 different locations tonight, guys. This is absolute insanity. And I do want to give a huge round of applause to Mr. Leland Best. He's creator and founder of Best AI Podcast and Best TV Studios. He's just Best Live TV. The dude is amazing. He is literally a jack of all trades. And none of this would be possible without him tonight. Just kind of like using all of his amazing resources, his Zoom, his streaming computer. Is just the dude's got more connections than Bell South. Let me just say that much. But I'm just so thankful to have him on board tonight. So stick with us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're going to get Sidney in here, and then we're going to get this started. And just to give you a rundown tonight, I have pinned the Zoom link in every one of the live streams tonight. I believe that I've went through every single one and I've pinned it. It's important. I'm not going to be able to monitor a lot of these streams because of just there's a lot going on around 4 different platforms. But I'm not going to be able to monitor it. So if you want to come in and communicate with us, there is a Zoom link that is pinned wherever you're viewing from, whichever platform. You need to come in because that's where the chat's going to happen. That's where the communication is going to happen. And that's where I think, oh my God, do we have Sidney in here? This is crazy. Dude, I am so excited to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. This is amazing. That is great. I mean, we don't even need to delay now. We could just get going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the one, the only, Sidney Shapiro. He's here. There's things going on. I have no idea. But what are you doing over there, Leland? What you doing, man? He's pulling all the he's back there. He's like Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain type thing. But it's really awesome. And I know that a lot of Lindsay's family are tuning in tonight as well. Spitz, can we get Sid off of the downstream and onto the let's see here. Let me get that into everyone. Okay, cool. What's up, Art Parlor? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. What is up, Raj? Yes, sir. Yeah, ma'am. You're good. Mm-hmm. Sounds good, man. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're doing it all, man. You're doing more than I can even mentally comprehend at this point. So I appreciate it. So yeah, so yes, recording in progress. Yes, look at that. So we are recording this across multiple platforms, like I said, and we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, and we're on the actual memory event, Remembering Lindsay Badger event. So I do want to welcome all of the art community. I want to welcome the family that might be watching tonight. I know I just want to give just all of my deepest, sincerest love and just heartfelt sympathies to the St. John family and to the Badger family. We all just kind of join with you in this tremendous loss. I don't even have the words. I don't even know what to say. And part of me in my spirit, in my soul, I've kind of like, I don't want to say the word dreading tonight because tonight's a celebration of a wonderful person, but it's just like, for me, it's a way of closure. It's a way of, even though I wasn't able to attend the funeral in Oklahoma, but this for me is kind of like my way of kind of dealing with it all as well. So much love to all the friends and all the family that are here tonight. We have a really special night lined up for you guys. And we have a lot of art we're going to showcase. And I think we're going to hit the art first. We're going to kind of go through that and kind of show some of the things that the community has done. And then we're going to open up the Zoom link and allow people to come in and join us. And I think that's going to be a good way. Now, I do want to give there's a little bit of regulation on tonight because I don't know the volume of people that's going to be joining us on Zoom. So I want to give you a little bit of clause, if I could. When you come in, you're free to share whatever you want, your memory, your tribute, your art, a favorite moment, a favorite memory, whatever inspires you. But I will say that my great producer has put up a 2-minute counter. So if you're going a little long-winded, there'll be a 2-minute counter that will pop up on your screen. And that will, let's see there's the 2-minute counter right now. So that will let you know it's your 2-minute warning. It's time to start wrapping it up so the other person can come in and That's just in case you get long-winded. I'm just saying long-winded. But Sidney, do you have anything you want to share on the opening remarks of tonight?
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. And I wish it was a reunion under better circumstances. This is probably the worst way to do a Blab reunion.
Yeah.
You know, I think the one person we're missing is the at help. We can get somebody to come in here and get tech to fix things. That's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's on brand to have tech problems starting out because that's basically the way that Blab was. I, like I think a lot of it is. Pretty unbelievable. Like at the funeral, they were going through and showing art that people put together in the community, as well as art that Lindsay did. And the people sitting in front of me were like, I just can't believe that she actually did this. Like, this is amazing, right? This is like next level.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also this huge finality to it, like that there's no fixing or going back. And I think that part was very hard to do as well. And, like, I think that it was good that everybody found each other, from totally different walks of life, from totally different places. And all those people that came together made lifelong friendships. And I think really that's the takeaway of all this, like that. I think despite all the things that have happened over the past 10 years, I think we're all better for having gone through this.
Yeah.
And it's big things, it's small things, like I started a podcast the other day for a project I'm working on at school. And I published my first episode. I was very excited. And literally the first thing I did was pick up my phone and text Lindsay. Like this was like 2 days ago. And I'm just like, and that was like an autopilot thing. I wasn't even thinking about it, right? Like she's still the number one person on my messenger, right? That comes up when I'm like, it was just like on an automatic. And the fact that she's not there, I should also point out that I worked with her for years. And when I was thinking, who's like the most reliable person I could possibly think about, that was her, right? So, like our working relationship was, that she took whatever was in my brain and took it so far beyond and improved it so much. Like, I would wake up and get an email from her saying, like, look at this spreadsheet. I took what was in your head and actually improved it, right? And, and that process, it's like, I could look at it and say, like, wow, I can't believe I thought of this. But it was really her refinement for literally years that helped get to where it was going,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just incredibly sad, but I'm glad that we're all together for this and that we could all go through it together.
Yeah, and I agree. I kind of want to harken on something that you just had mentioned though, about just the muscle memory of picking up your phone and wanting to send her something or a message. Dude, I echo that because her and I were always on the same wavelength when it came to like comics or funny reels dealing with comics or huge announcements in the comic world. And literally the night before the day of the event, it was the night that Robert Downey Jr. was announced to come and reprise his Marvel Comics role into the Marvel Universe as Doctor Doom. And she was so excited about Robert Downey Jr. returning to the Marvel Universe and just her excitement about these things. And I was finding myself this past week, I was doing a couple of things and I was working and doing, I don't know why, but well, I know why, because she was just an amazing mind. Um, I would do these commission projects and I would always bounce off my concepts to her. I was like, hey, what do you think of this work in progress? And she would always give me this amazing feedback. Well, a little bit less on this, maybe a little bit more focus on that. And I found myself, I was doing some work this week for a guy in Tennessee, and I was like, okay, let me send this to, it's just one of those moments you catch yourself. And I'm looking at the Twitch right now, and everybody's just sharing all the BadgerMakes emotes, and this is just like so heartwarming, you guys. And hey, Angel Hill TV's in here. That is amazing. Tried to get on, and it
Angel, how's it
crashed.
going?
What's up, Angel? Yeah, I don't know. Some of the platforms may have issues streaming it. We are streaming to 4 different locations tonight, so I'm just letting you know right off the bat. Really quick for everybody that's joining, there is a pinned Zoom link. Now, this is the Zoom link where you will come in to the actual broadcast and share. And so make sure you click on that link. And if you want to be a part, now I'm not going to be monitoring all the platforms. There's no way I can do that. So I'm going to be monitoring the Zoom chat, which is where I'm going to be mainly focused on tonight. So if you want to be part of the company, they're all going to take place. What you're seeing is just the stream going out. So, So really quick, right off the bat, I think it's important that we show some of the art. Leland, do you have anything, Leland, on your heart you want to share? Opening remarks or anything like that? Or did I just catch him off guard? I don't know. Maybe I did catch him. Let's go over to the Discord. Yeah, let's go over to Discord, and we're just going to work our way down from the top. And I do want to give a huge shout out to DiamondDezz. I know DiamondDezz, she just posted in the chat that it's hard. I understand, DiamondDezz. I know we're just sending you, all you need to know tonight is we're sending you all the love, all of our love tonight. I know this is hard. This is hard for me to do this. That's what I'm saying. I've really had to mentally get myself into a headspace to where I can talk about my best friend and not get get emotional. But all right, so let's talk about the art. Let's look at some of this amazing art. All right, so what are we starting at? We're starting at the all the way to the top of art for Lindsay Lee. Let's go up there. This first piece is by Princess PJs. And there was a thing on Cody Scheibe's channel, put a challenge out. Let's all together as a community make Badger art. So our amazing friend, DiamondDezz, has compiled over on Lindsay's Discord, the Badger Den. If you're not a part of the Discord, I'll give you that link here in a minute. It's still active. We're not taking it down. We're not removing a thing. And so these are some of the artists that participated in that. So we're going to kind of go through these, and we're going to spend a few seconds on each piece. All right, so here's Princess PJs. And let's go to the Blunder Factory. Look at this beautiful piece. I believe that's watercolor, if I'm not mistaken. And the next one is Berna Bentz. Oh, that's awesome. And the next one is Weasel. Beautiful work. We got Leo coming up next. Little sketchy sketch there. Love it. And this is just the impact Lindsay had, guys. Just keep going through them there, Leland. You're good. Maximum wetness. Look at that beautiful color on that. And we got Chickbaka. And we got Flight and Fallen. Beautiful rendition. And we have Josh Uwu, our very own Uwu, in the house. And we got Blue Sparkle Frog. Look at that. Poor Lindsay. And we got Dacula. And then I believe, I think it's Favi, if I'm not mistaken. And the next one, I know we're kind of going through these fast, but I just want to make sure that we hit all these. This is Oma. And Maggie. Oh, this one, by the way, is cut out. Maggie's is cut out from a piece of paper. So that's what you call, there is a term for that. It's like a negative when you do a screen print. Pretty cool. And then we've got Deemer Art. Oh my gosh, I am butchering these names. I'm so sorry. And then we've got Wig Masterkin. That's beautiful. That's an animation. Look at that. That's a cutout animation. Nice. And we got Dan Deemer. And we've got Tatum 44. Beautiful rendition. And then we got ZM, the Outlaw. Lady Liz World. Kimi Dadir. Oh my gosh. That's adorbs. We got Peach Pencil. And we've got Pattypuss. And we got Siller and Doodles. Yeah, these are amazing, aren't they? Art Parlor. And then we got Outsider Arts, our very own Outsider Arts. We got Thunder Bristle Art. Look at the detail on that one. Kathy Bean, 77. And we got Peaches and Pancakes. That is like a trading card right there. It looks awesome. Puppet D. And we got Dump Truck Davies. And then we've got Cody Scheibe, his very own. This is Cody Scheibe. Now, let's stay on this one. He is a Twitch streamer as well. And a lot of these names that you've seen, these usernames, are Twitch streamers in their own right as well. They have their own channels like Lindsay did. But the night of the... So let's go on down. We got Juan Bolish. And let's go on down to Sean. And then Sean has got, look at that one. Sean draws. Amazing. Let's see here. Keep on going. Let's go to art. Yes. And MisterBluray coming in with his, there's his whip and there's his finished piece. MisterBluray, amazing job. Jeremy Stoltz with the BadgerMakes emblem. And then Jeremy Stoltz, the final piece of his BadgerMakes. Absolutely gorgeous work. And then here is my unfinished Lindsay Badger digital oil painting. I still have to finish this one up. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have a song that was submitted by just maybe like 45, 50 seconds of that or something. Absolutely amazing, guys. Just an outpouring of love from everyone during this whole thing. It's just been, wow, absolutely amazing. Lagging and on the voice side, and a bit on the voice side.
Yeah, I have it open on the YouTube, and it's like a few seconds behind where the voice is on Zoom.
Okay, so we've got some latency issues there. Sorry about the latency issues, guys. We will just get through it the best we can, but we're going to continue on with the stream, so just hang out. Nice. Absolutely amazing. Wow, Leland, you're a magician, man. You're doing things in the back end there that I tell you what, it's you're doing the work, bro. You're doing the work. So just amazing contributions. That song was actually written for Lindsay. It's called Immortal. It's by Immortal, and it's called Restless is the name of the song. And you can find this song. I'm going to go ahead and paste it over in the chat for you guys. In the Zoom chat, by the way, if you want some of these links and stuff, you're going to have to come check it out over on the Zoom side. But I think we're ready to allow a few people in. So let's go ahead and start with that. So I'm just gonna let Leland pick and choose at just whoever was first or whoever wants to come in, whoever's hand is raised. You guys can come on in and let's share. Remember, if you're going a little late, we're going to throw up the 2-minute thing. So kind of give you a little heads up, not be rude about it, but give you a little heads up that, hey, we got to be on time here. All right, we got Raj and Stacy Braiuca coming in. You guys are coming on in. That's good to see you guys. Stacy, feel free to unmute your microphone and. All right, you're ready. You're ready to go, Stacy. Yep. Let me pause you right there, right quick, Stacy. Leland, they're saying over in the chat that they can't hear Stacy as she's talking. So I don't know if that's. I just want to make sure that. So there you go. Hey, Foamy, what's up, man? How you doing? You're fine, Stace. Can you? All right. Can you guys? Are you guys able to hear Stacy at all? Okay.
Hello.
You're
so
good.
you've got me in there now.
Would you be so kind as to reiterate what you were saying, Stacy? I apologize.
Yeah, and at first I want to say hello and send big hugs to Josh, who just posted that he can hear me. I'm really glad you can hear me, Josh. You've been in my heart. You and the kids and everybody. Who knew 10 years ago that we were going to be sitting here 10 years later together as people who have known each other that long, who formed friendships in four squares and an audience, pulling all-nighters just to hang out with each other because we were hanging out with the cool kids. And who knew that I was going to be lucky enough to be one of the ones who got to meet Lindsay in person. Not once, but twice.
Wow.
And that I was going to get to meet Joe in person and hug him too. And the impact that those days made on me keeps going today, even though I don't get to see you guys every night. There were reasons that I wasn't able to stay up all night and do that anymore. And it hurts that I missed the things in the last year or more. But that's also how life happens. Most of the time when life happens like that, people don't get to reconnect with each other because they aren't still connected somehow. And to me, you guys are all a blessing because of that. I don't know that I've been a member of many communities where there are people who are still connected 10 years later, even if they haven't heard from each other in weeks, months, or even years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that much, that even though I didn't get to see Lindsay that often in the last couple of years, I watched everything she and the kids and family were doing, and she's still a part of my heart, as are all of you, and I really appreciate all of you.
We love you, Stacy.
Yep.
Thank you so much for sharing, sweetheart. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're able to be a part of tonight's thing. And we have actually an art piece that you had submitted. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, that piece of art is actually, Lindsay and I did a lot of tech like thoughts back and forth. Like when I would find a new tech program, I'd be like, hey, have you seen this one yet? Ooh, hey, have you seen this one yet? Ooh, can you see what this one does? Do you want to, know?
She had a knack for finding some of the coolest applications ever.
Yeah, we'd throw them back and forth. And so when I knew I wanted to do an art piece, I didn't just want to pull out my watercolors, because I'm still, I do abstract. Let's put it that way. Or pull out the markers or anything else that I can do better art with now because of Lindsay Badger, because of the gift she and Joe sent me in person and online. And I wanted to do a digital art piece, so I did I put in the things that made me think of Lindsay and created an art piece.
It's over. I just put it in the Discord, Leland, and it's the last one there. It's submitted by Stacy Braiuca.
Yeah. It does not look like her, but it evokes her in my mind. If anybody knows why the rainbows are behind it, because frequently when something would come up, Lindsay would quote the more you know. I can never see that thing without seeing her and all of the art around her.
There's the piece, guys.
There's there should be pictures of badgers on the wall and pictures behind her of family. If I would have been thinking about it, I would have put kids popping in and out of the background, because that's awesome how piece. I got to know the kids too. So.
Well, my dear, we are going to move on. The chat is hopping, and I am so thankful that you're able to participate tonight.
I'm going to be in the chat.
Yeah, come hang out in the chat. And I think next we got Raj Cuddy. What's up, Raj? I haven't spoken to Raj Cuddy. Gosh, it's been a minute, y'all. It has been a minute. How you doing, friend? I hear you loud and clear, my man.
Yeah, it's been a while. I do stay into regular touch with Sidney, but life goes on. Had a lot of health challenges over the last few years, but I just that time spent with like Sid and oh geez, it's really hard. Lindsay and stuff on Blab and on Hap and Haps and every other platform that we try. Those were good times, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't feel real. I don't really have much else I can say about that. It still doesn't really feel real.
I think your sentiments echo all of our hearts, bud.
Yeah. But all the love out to Lindsay's family, and I'm really sorry for your loss. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you're good, Raj. You're good, bud. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for just being a part of our creative world, and for staying in touch with her and Sid and all that. So also to Leland, let's bring in Erica as well. Erica Wigington. And Raj, I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there anything else you wanted to add or share?
Oh no. I feel like this is sorry guys, I'm a little sick as well.
No, you're fine, bro. You're fine.
To be honest, the only thing I'm surprised about, Raj, is that you outlived Lindsay. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
I would have never thought that would happen. I would have put money on you going first, but look.
I mean,
shots fired, bro. Shots fired.
There you go.
But yeah, for those who don't know, I suffered heart failure in 2020 and
did not know
survived.
That.
So
I did not know that, Raj.
Survived and thrived.
Yes, this is true.
And listen, I think it comes down to like all of us being connected somehow, right? And quite often, not necessarily directly, but through each other or through these different friend combinations or groups. And I think it's really amazing that everybody knows everybody. If you're on that Carolyn picture, like you were there then, and all those people somehow, right?
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah. I do want to say over in the Twitch channel right quick, ads will start in about 3 minutes. I do apologize. It's only going to be about a 45 or 60-second ad run. So it's just an automated thing that's set up where I normally do my live streaming. I can't disable that when I'm streaming. But I also, too, want to bring in Erica Wigington as well. Let's go put her up. Erica, how are you doing tonight?
I am all right. How are all y'all? It's great to be a part of this beautiful culmination of Lindsay's accomplishments and how she has touched so many people. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you I'm sorry, I don't know who put it together, but I really greatly appreciate it.
It's a collaborative, creative, culminative project. It's something that we all when one of ours falls, we all come together. It's a very tight knit creative community here. So,
well, I'd like to be here to represent her family. I am Lindsay's first cousin. We grew up together. She was my first friend, and I was there. I threw a baby shower. I threw a bridal shower, and I'm so heartbroken at how everything went down, but I'm so touched by how many people were in her life and were also touched by her brilliance and her beautiful artistic ability. So I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm glad to be here. And I just want to say how, this world is really at a loss for losing someone so beautiful. But it is truly, truly touching to know that there are so many people like you in her world. And I will admit that I was not a part of it, besides, just family, everything. And it's just truly touching, and I greatly appreciate it. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted y'all to know that from me as a spokesperson for the family, I truly, truly appreciate everything you guys have done.
We are better people because of her.
We absolutely
I will say that
are.
much. I'm a better artist. I'm a better creative. I'm a better Joe because of Lindsay Badger.
Absolutely.
And that's just something I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. So
I also did want to send out a sincere thank you to Sidney and the others that have put on this GoFundMe page and have so generously helped our family. Thank you very much.
no problem.
That's all I just wanted to say my 2 bits.
No,
Please,
beautiful.
Please
Thank
continue.
You. No,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
I don't know. I mean, like she was a core person going back right to the very beginning, and I would say like the peacemaker of all these people who normally don't get along very well in the group, and I think that, like going back to the beginning Glad Days, I definitely didn't get along with Joe, but You know, every time that we had disagreements, Lindsay was there to sort it out. And she was the mom to literally hundreds of people to, you know, like I forgot what the name is, Johnny Inferno or something.
Yeah,
You
we ain't gonna talk about it.
My point is, like, that's
Yeah.
where it all started, right? So when I think about Lindsay, that's her role. Like, she literally lived for her kids, right?
She did.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
every time I talked to her, she was telling me about them. You know, the funny thing is when I, you know, when I, you know, when I was like, okay, there's so many karate posts that I've got. This kid must be like a triple judo black belt by now. There's no possibility that he hasn't got up to black belt yet. Because like I was at their house a couple of years ago and I saw like 100 belts, and she was telling me every other day he's doing more karate. You know, it must be that he's a black belt, and it's still 3 more to go, but it's happening. You know, and I think that, you know, like she brought all that together. She brought together people from like every walk of life, from all these different places, and made a huge friend group and had a massive effect on people. You know, and I think it's interesting. Like, I'm not into art. I have no connection to the art people, and a lot of us came from totally different places, but found a reason to connect through Lindsay. And she was a connector, bringing people together from all sorts of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And I think that was really critical, right? That was something that was like a missing piece in all of us. And this is the, you know, the family that you make as opposed to the family that you get, you know? And
Absolutely.
you know, and I think that was a big thing, you know. And for, you know, I was thinking about it recently, like, you know, you were talking about the you know, GoFundMe, which we started as a response when we heard that Lindsay passed away. To be honest, when Joe messaged me and said that she died, I didn't believe it. I thought it was like impossible, right? And, you know, getting over that initial disbelief, I couldn't believe that like that was the reality, and it sunk in, and so we started to do something. I mean, there's nothing to do, right? Like, it's not like it's going to bring her back or anything like that, but we wanted to participate and bring people together. And people we hadn't talked to in 10 years started coming out of the woodwork. People from like all over who literally we didn't even know existed contacted each other and brought together this like amazing network of the people who stay in touch all the time, of the people, you know. I was very fortunate to have met Lindsay and many other people from Blab, you know, over the years. And I think that's really what shows when everybody shows up when they need each other, right? When it pulls together and it creates this amazing thing. And I think that's really critical, right? Like, so, you know, I throughout this whole process and getting in touch with all these people and putting together everything, the crazy thing to me is that I constantly thought, hey, this is something that Lindsay should totally be involved in. Like, she's totally the planner slash person who goes out there and makes stuff happen, you know. And like I told Joe, you know, it's like muscle reflex. Like, she would be the person that I called when stuff happened in my life, right? She was just like my go-to buddy that like was always involved in these things, and not having her there removes that part of your life that's just like on autopilot. You know, you don't even think about it, it's just like always there, right? And this is people like living totally different lives in totally different circumstances. And it's like I'm still coming to grips with the fact that she's not here. And I think that, you know, is just for everybody very difficult to process, you know, like putting all the pieces together and then looking at, you know, how do we move on. So it was really nice to hear from everyone who reached out to us. We literally had hundreds of people who donated to the campaign, hundreds of people that sent us messages, and people we hadn't talked to in a very long time reached out because they still felt connected to Lindsay, even if they hadn't talked to her in a long time, because they knew she was a pivotal person in all this.
Yes, she was. As well put, Sid. And Erica, again,
Thank
I
you.
just want to reiterate, it is such an honor to have you here tonight and represent the family. And I know
I wouldn't have missed it.
I know a lot of these St. John's and the Badgers are watching tonight, and just my deepest love, admiration, and condolences.
I
And it goes out
appreciate
to
it.
us.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
All right.
It's just such a blessing to see how many people were really impacted by the beautiful person that she was.
Several hundred, Erica, at least. There's
I
a
love that.
there's a creative art community that she and I co-founded together. It's called the Creative Multiverse. And in that Creative Multiverse is probably 300 or 400 creatives, artists, musicians, poets, sculptors, painters, you name it, they're all in there. And and then she and I co-founded Artuary, which is our annual drawing challenge every January. And we also co-founded our podcast, which is PopXcast. You may have, I think that was actually in her eulogy, if I'm not mistaken. That was
I believe
mentioned
it was.
Yeah. So I'm the Joe that we talk comic books about. So I'm that guy. So it's a pleasure to meet you, Erica. But I just wanted to say really quick, did you want to share anything else before we moved on? I want to make sure we give you plenty of time.
You know, I really appreciate the space to remember her, and I just want to reiterate how pivotal of a person that she was to our family. It'll never be the same. And I am so grateful for this community, as well as our family community, our church communities, and everything, to really step up and be there for Josh, and of course for Abby and Ethan. And I'm just so incredibly grateful because she was such a beautiful person. I know that she surrounded herself with beautiful people, and that's very clear. So I just want to reiterate how grateful we all are to all of you.
Well said, Erica. Thank you so much for sharing. And let's see here. We're gonna move on. I believe Moonshadow was in here longer than the mayor, Cliff Bodenweiser. And what's that? Okay. All right, we got Cliff on the secondary. So we're going to have a duality down here at the bottom. We're going to have the mayor and the shadow coming in simultaneously, guys. I don't even know if you guys are ready for this. I don't know if I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, he
it's
didn't
actually
even
a Blab reunion.
Yeah, you didn't even slick your hair up, Cliff. I'm a little appalled.
I know. One of the things, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things Lindsay would always say is, you never know what you're going to get with my hair. It's always something different. And it would always, I was
looking for that like slicked mane of yours to come in tonight.
Yeah, I can come back later and with it and amaze, but it is always something different. And I never know what it is until the camera comes on, because I have no mirrors. I am a vampire. You guys know. It's
also true. Yeah. Cliff does drink blood. I will say that much.
That was not for sharing.
I don't know who was first. I know who was first in the chat. I know that was Mr. Moonshadow before Cliff, but you guys, I'm going to let you guys settle this and go.
You can go ahead and Cliff. It's all good.
All right. Love you all. Erica, it's a pleasure to meet you under other than ideal circumstances, obviously. And you hit some real sharp points here. And, you know, I keep hearing Lindsay saying, get over it. You know, let's get partying here. As we're feeling the loss. And Sid, I still can't believe it either. I wasn't in touch with her as much as I wanted to be, and you guys were, you and Joe, of course. But she was in my heart all the time, and I would hear her tapping me on the shoulder all the time, saying stuff to me. And you talk about her being a connector. Oh, was she a connector? And she had this way about her. Obviously, anybody that spent any time with her in a community or when there's any kind of thing going on, she take a fuse and put it out. And she's had that magic about being able to diffuse a situation, and either through confusion or humor, right? She's like, what? And she always had her quick wit, and so many things, in Blab days that we spent so many hours, as Stacy said earlier, late nights playing audio and all kinds of stuff, just hanging out. And it was the beginning of her becoming an amazing artist. And I watched Joe and her blossom, just spinning off each other. And it was amazing, the the synergy there. And I just have to, of course, when I heard this happened, I was devastated for the, Josh and Abby, as you guys have said. My God, her whole life, their whole lives were just spun around, Lindsay. And my love and my heart just broke for them and Josh, obviously.
And yeah, Abby and Ethan were the first people that I thought of, and Josh. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cliff. I didn't mean.
So, and I just want to say a couple more things. I've been called the mayor of Blab and all that stuff, and she would always call me the mayor, and I'd pop in her room or whatever, and she always had fun with that, and it was about community. I was the Blab evangelist before I was the mayor, and it was because I believed in what we're all talking about without saying that C word of community. It was so strong. It was so embedded in her that she just enjoyed that piece of Blab so much that it was just felt like, oh, here's somebody. And she would just light up, and she'd light up the room, even digitally. So there's so much more I'd love to say. But there's so many more people here that want to say a few things, I'm sure. And I just want to say I love Lindsay, love you. I know you're looking down at us, kicking me in the ass and saying, get over it. Let's have some fun here. But we want to let you know how revered you are in our hearts, and how much of an impact, as Joe can't even say in words, you've had upon us here. And again, people that she's never met, she's had an impact on. And I want to leave that with Erica as well. Thousands of people who've never even seen her, talk to her, because she would just meet you with a smile right where you were and just light you up a little bit more each day. I know Sid's shaking his head. I know it's something that, kept him coming back to the well, and she was, and I have to finish on this. There must be a God, and he or she must be selfish. There's a God because she was in our lives, and she was who she was, and she was so pure and good, and she wasn't perfect. She's the first one to tell you that, but her impact upon people was just amazing. And it's rare. It is a rare thing to have someone in your sphere touching you. And then just think about how you walk into the world because of that love that she would give you in the moment.
Wow.
And she could be kicking you in the ass or whatever. Moonshadow.
Dude, before we go to Moon really
go ahead.
quick, I have to say this. Thankfully, I was on the Facebook Live, and Lindsay's father, Tony St. John, is joining us on the Facebook side. And he wanted me, well, he didn't want me. I'm just going to say this. And yeah, thank you to everyone there for your showing your love to my daughter and to the art community. And a big thanks and hugs to all. Thank you from the St. John's. And Tony St. John went on to say, hello, Erica. We love you. And thanks, Jeremy Stoltz. And Tony went on to say, suck it up, Buttercup. That's what she would have said. Suck it up, Buttercup. That was her thing. Yeah. So, Cliff, honestly, tonight would not have been fulfilled had not you been here as well, because many late nights, bro. Many late nights that you, myself, and Badge and Sid, we all just, I don't know, man. It was just a creative melting pot. It was something I don't think will ever be replicated in the history of social media as we know it. No, Blab was a special place.
No, and you see, I got my Blab thing always.
I see that. Yeah.
It's Rayano, folks, on air backwards. And
I want to go over to our shaman, the man, the myth, Mr. Moonshadow. How you doing, Mr. Moonshadow?
Well, many times when someone passes, you say all the best things about them, right? You kind of leave out the things that weren't so nice. They could have been rough or tough or whatever, but with Lindsay, it's not something that we could say. I still have a hard time believing that she's gone. I still have extreme difficulty thinking and even feeling the fact that she's no longer with us. And she was always a bright spot, you know, no matter what time it was, you know, long before all these social influencers and social media, all this stuff, we were there. We were really the OGs of the beginning of all of that. And and I can attest, man, you know, hand to God, we were there for hours. We watched people sleep when they were sick. You know, I watched Lindsay set up a meeting for her kids or a big party for her kids. She showed me all of the things that she had put together. She went soup to nuts crazy, A to Z. She did not miss a beat, not miss a detail. She, if I ever was going to get married or have a birthday party or have an anniversary or anything, I would totally want her. And she knew this because I would, you know, I would sing her praises constantly. She was an artist and she was creative and she had the ability to take nothing and make it something. And in regards to like my own YouTube channel and PopXcast, we were like siblings because we started at about the same time. And looking at it, and it was all a bunch of really cool people there on PopXcast, you know what I mean? But I will tell you, Lindsay added something. She added such a spark to it. And I saw her from her beginnings of being an artist, where she was just a creative mind and a planner, to being such an amazing artist. And it's something that I will always have part of my heart, you know, because she would always be ecstatic um, when people would pop in the room. And I can attest that as well, because I would show up, you know, after you guys have been around for a while, practically hysterically half asleep or whatever, you know, and I'd just pop in and say, hey, and she would have the brightest smile. Uh, and I can't,
The smile was contagious, bro.
and honestly,
It
you
was
know,
contagious. Like, wow.
oh yeah. And not only that, also within the family, we saw them grow. I saw those babies get older. I saw those babies go from little ones to, you know,
Dude, Ethan was running around in diapers when we were on Blab.
no kidding.
He was
And to
2
see
years old.
and to see Ethan in martial arts and to
Yeah.
see Abby, you know, being a little badass with the cheerleading, and I watched those posts and even though I wasn't there and I've never had the chance to meet Lindsay in person, it was something where she was just so welcome in my life, and I in hers, and all of us really brought us everything together. We were a family. We were an extended family, you know. And I haven't met that many people. You know, I met Cliff, I met Q, you know, but there are people that touch your lives in such a way where you don't even have to meet them in person. It's just deep in your heart. It's just a deep soul connection. And last we spoken a while ago, I'd said it's like Anam Kara, which is soul friend. And it's like someone that it's such a deep connection. You just, it never changes. It never ends. So from my heart to Lindsay's family, to her kids, to her husband, Erica, everybody. Um, my love goes out to you, because we feel a loss, but it was blood with you guys, you know. And it's no one. She wasn't, you know. There was no one like her.
Brother, I could not have said that any better. Holy cow. Many nights, bro, you and I and Badge would hang out on Blab. We would share our spiritual journeys together. We would share in some ways, our faith, our beliefs, and our passion to connect with people, not just on a social media platform, but to touch their souls.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that through an online platform in a digital environment, and to have that effect last as long as it has.
That was crazy.
Dude, we're all still connected from Blab.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of us are still with us. And you guys are literally either a text away or a message away, and I can reach out and we're all still a family. That's amazing.
And not only that, just to say, like, you know, Cliff being the mayor, just for people who have been, like, I remember Lindsay saying this to me one really late night. She had said, you know, Moon, you're like our like spiritual connector. You're like our heart in a lot of ways, because there were times that people weren't getting along, and you would say, you know, you'd say something, and I'd hate to, I wouldn't want to provoke anything, you know, but it was just something that we all had our particular, our contribution in this community. All of us had our way of connecting with everyone, and whether it be sarcasm, i.e. Sid, or
Listen, you know, it's 10 years have gone by. I
go.
think we can all apologize and move forward.
Oh no, Sid, I love you for it. We never got into a thing, but I love you for it though. Cliff and his Floby, the Floby would never be a Floby. He must be the spokesperson for Floby. But honestly, it's the community itself, between seeing someone, and you would think through a two-dimensional thing, through a screen on a computer or a phone. And by the way, I'm wearing headphones. This is once in a lifetime. All right, just saying. But
dude, we're better. We're better because of your decision tonight.
That's right.
yes. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's all of us together. We really put together and made such an incredible community that even Blab didn't realize what superpowers we had and what they had. So Lindsay was such a big spark, big heart. She was just amazing, and I love that girl. I'll always love that girl, and that family just deserves all the best.
Hey, before I go, Joe, two things. Number one,
Yeah.
I always, in these kinds of situations, we talk about her being a connector. She was a disconnector with her scissors. She would come into a conversation, you wouldn't even know that she cut you. She just
she was very witty.
How do we
girl had some wit, you know.
She was fast, and she would see it coming.
Loved
she'd take out her scissors, you know, and boop, and you wouldn't even know it. Like, how did that change?
The snarky comment, man. I just loved it. I loved it for it. Yeah. And,
you know, last thing is we spent thousands of hours. I mean, if you were not there in Blab and you didn't know, I was on this platform and that platform for 16 hours a day for like a year and a half. It was nuts. And Lindsay was there. I'm going to go. Thank you all for being here. I just know Lindsay keeps wanting us to get happy here and enjoy, you know, and that's it. I mean, she was a light, you know, and it was not fair to us that she and her family, that she's not here to brighten our days and our souls and our minds. But I love her, and I know we all do.
A few points on that, Cliff, before you go. Something I realized, and something somebody else helped me realize the other day, is that if we ever really want to connect with Lindsay, go to her YouTube and her Twitch channel. She has an insane library. I didn't know she did this until recently, but every Twitch stream that she had, she re-uploaded it on her YouTube page. And so, I mean, we're talking 3.5, 4-hour broadcasts of just Lindsay being Lindsay. And if you want to hear that sweet voice, if you want to hear her wit, there it is. Look at that. Leland's brought it. Leland, can we just stop for a second and just give it up for Leland? Leland is knocking it out of the park. He's doing 4 streams right now, bringing in all the dude. I'm telling you, oh my God, Leland, this could not happen without you. But really quick before we go to Angel, we're going to bring Angel Hill up. Lindsay was 2 things. I saw that, Mr. Spitfire. Lindsay, if anybody knows anything about Superman, Superman gets his strength from the sun of Earth and loses his powers through kryptonite. Lindsay was both my sun and my kryptonite. And what I mean by that, she gave me power and encouragement when I needed it, and she cut me and told me the way it was when I needed it.
Yep.
And that, my friends, is a true friend. Somebody that can do that in love. I just pray in your lifetime you can find someone that even measures to an ounce of the caliber that Lindsay Badger was.
Yep.
That's what she was to me.
No BS.
No
She
BS
would cut
at all.
And she would cut the BS like boop.
Freaking yeah. Oh yeah. She had a nose for BS, and she would call it out. I love that about her.
Like I wrote that.
Love that about her.
I said, "Oh,
all right,
all right. Love you guys.
Love you, Cliff.
Hang in there, Angel. Hi. Before I go, I'll see you on the tube here.
All right, let's bring in Angel Hill and Moonshadow. We'll bring in someone else in your window.
Yes.
Well,
thank
love
you,
Moonshadow.
thank you, everybody. Love you too, and
right.
I love you all. You guys. It would have been nice if we could have met it in better circumstances for sure. And you know what? One thing on a positive note before I'm so glad that the person who did this was accountable. I will say that. Just saying. And it's a sad shame that she left, because there are many people in the world that probably don't deserve being here. And I know that's a bit salty, but
you're just speaking your heart, man.
But some of the people that are the best people in the world, they go long before their time. So rest in power, Lindsay. We love you.
Love and light, Moonshadow. Love and light.
Take care, man.
All right, bub. All right. We have next up our sister from across the border, if we shall say, Angel Hill. Oh my gosh, my love. How are you doing? It's so good to see your smiling face again.
Well, thank you so much. And he means Canada. I want to say that for the record because I'm proud of my country. You couldn't have said anything more perfect to start exactly what I wanted to say. I just want to thank you for that, because before I say that, though, I just want to acknowledge Lindsay's family. I just want to feel all of you. And I just, my heart is with all of you. And I had the privilege of being able to speak with Lindsay about her spirituality and her beliefs. And I know that she's on the same page as me in the belief that energy does not dissipate, it only changes forms. I really believe that if this brings any solace to you, it brings solace to me to know that she's doing something right now. We just don't know what that is. So I really feel that. I'm really grateful for that. I can really feel that, there's something really beautiful happening. So that makes me feel good. I really hope that it makes you guys feel a little bit better. My thoughts have been really with you guys a lot lately. So I wish I could do more to bring some solace to you guys, but at least we know that her light is bringing us some light even after she's gone, and maybe even some strength, because like Joseph just said, or Joe, sorry, Joe, it feels better calling you Joe. One of the things that Lindsay brought to me was, we got really personal in our chats on Blab. 3 a.m. does something to people. You get a little crazy and the lines get blurred. We had a lot of talks about our husbands and our kids and our lives when nobody was around. We got very, very close with each other. And when you get that way with somebody, you get to know whether or not they're going to be a real friend. And that's the kind of friendship that Lindsay and I had in those moments. I feel sad that we didn't talk a lot after Blab, but I don't feel like that made us any less close. And those of you that are on Blab know exactly what I'm talking about. We're like the best of friends for life. Any of you can message me anytime, get up in my inbox. I love you for life. And I just feel like she was that friend that said some things to me when she passed away. I'm not going to get into the details, but it was at a moment where I had just made some key decisions in my life. And if she hadn't have said the difficult things back then for Lindsay in my life, and then I heard she passed away. And so sometimes, guys, saying the hard stuff as a friend is just beautiful. I'm just so grateful for the role Lindsay played in my life. I wouldn't be the mother that I am without her. I wouldn't be the friend that I am without her. Some people really make a difference. I'm just so grateful for Lindsay. So Lieutenant Lindsay Badger, thank you for what you were in the community. Thank you what you were in the Hype Network. Thank you everything. She was just such a light, you know, and she was just such a balance. And she showed us how to have our inner child. And she showed us how to tame it out when we needed to and not turn into folly. And she just was everything that we needed to have. And I really think that we wouldn't have been the same on Blab without Lindsay. When I did the Toronto meetup, those of you that joined us, thank you, Sidney. I'm so glad I got to hug you. I again, Sid, because it doesn't feel right calling Sidney. I just feel that, you know, she was there. She wanted to, like, there wasn't a lot of people that wanted to live stream and be there, even though she couldn't be there. She didn't want to miss out ever. She was always there, you know, like really there with us by our side. So I just really want to honor that, because like there's some people that look you in the eye and care about you, and some people that are overbearing and want to tell you what to be all the time, and some people that are just there and just help you be, and that was Lindsay. And some people that are just magic, and that was Lindsay. So, and she left me with a song, and I sing it all the time because of her, even before she passed away. And it's what's it called? Stars shining bright above you. She loved to sing it. It was her favorite song to sing, for those of you that don't know that. So if you hear it, dream a little dream of her.
Dream
and
a dream.
Yes. And let your inner child come out whenever you hear that song, and let it heal you a little bit because of Lindsay. So thank you, Lindsay, for everything you were for me. I love you. Thank you for letting me share my piece. I love all of you from Blab. I love you in the community. And thank you, Erica, for sharing your what you said about community, because it's everything. Thank you, Joe, for putting this together today. Thank you, Leland, for everything you're doing in the background. Thank you, Sid, for everything you've been doing for us. I really see you. Mwah. Love you guys.
I love you.
Thanks, Cliff.
Love you, Angel. Oh my gosh.
No.
This is just an incredible outpouring. And I'm just there's an overflow tonight of just emotions that this is all good because we're celebrating the life of an amazing person.
You know,
And
Joe, I used to have these like really long, complicated conversations with Lindsay for like hours and hours and hours about all kinds of things. And you know, I think the challenge is that it's very final to summarize like 10 years of talking to somebody in an hour, right? But so there's a bunch of them that stand out to me that are just like so funny and so like typically Lindsay. Hang on, let me close the window. Apparently police are coming.
They're coming to take you away, haha.
Exactly. Years ago, we had this very long, very weird conversation about how she met Josh in the back of a Golden Corral, you know, next to the dumpsters.
I know the story.
That became the genesis for the holiday book. So over the last 10 years, if you've been the recipient of a holiday book, that's where it all started. She talked to me for hours about Golden Corral dumpsters, and I was like, surely that can't be a real thing. And then next thing you know, that became what turned out to be like 6 or 7. I should point out that I was procrastinating doing my PhD by writing holiday books, but I spent hours hanging out with Lindsay and talking about it, and we had a lot of fun putting it together. You know, like so many of these things, and if I had to sum up everything, I don't know if Lindsay was so much as a friend, as a multi-level marketing scam, and I'll give you a few great examples, because just like looking back over the past 10 years, I've spent an awful lot of money on Girl Scout cookies, which like, looking at me, you'd think that would be a natural thing, but I kind of feel it was more insidious than that. I remember I was once talking to her, this was like years ago, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was sewing Abby's Girl Scout sash badges on. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, just sewing, you know, and she starts telling me about when she was in the Girl Scouts when she was a kid. And then somehow it turns out to fill out this form and buy some Girl Scout cookies. If I had one person to blame for my obesity, it would probably be Lindsay's Girl Scout cookie. And this wasn't just like this one time. It was like, you know, pick a date and buy chicken fingers or something, or like, you know, and I have to tell you that this year I bought Girl Scout cookies and I sent them to Brandon Clay. So somehow like it all fits in together, you know? And that was the kind of thing, like she was always interested. But that's not really what I want to tell you about. What I want to tell you about was that when Lindsay and Joe cost me the most amount of money on Blab, literally ever, when I made 1 jar of pickles for my good friend JS, and I sent it to him, and Lindsay's like, these are the best pickles ever. You got to send them to literally everyone on Blab. Now, I did make Sidcoin, the only cryptocurrency backed in pickles, another Blab highlight, but I actually sent out like 80 jars of pickles because of Lindsay. She liked them, so that was good, right? But
those were some dang good pickles, Sidney. I just
thank you
want to
very
say,
much.
yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was good pickles. Yeah.
There you go. That was the thing, and I think that there's these things that were just like so funny and so different. Recently, like last year, I went to a meeting and I met this group, and they're like, this is totally out of your field, but we're interested in building a community cookbook. Do you know anything about that? And I'm like, actually, my friend Lindsay Badger sent me an Oklahoma cookbook, and every single recipe in it has a pound of butter and a pound of cheese. And they're like, wait, is this a real thing? And I brought the cookbook to the meeting and got the job as a result. So Lindsay was out there helping me in the very most unexpected ways. I've never seen a chuck wagon in real life, but when I was growing up, I always saw like Oklahoma as this like dream thing, like a place that's not real. I loved Oklahoma the movie. And when I went there and I actually met with Lindsay, and I went to these 600 soda places and went in the USS Batfish, which was one of my like life ambitions. It was just amazing. Like, and she was all there for this like, completely over the top discovery of Oklahoma. So like, I thought that there's so many things that she was involved in. I mean, the one I was thinking about the most is not too long ago, I had a really long conversation with her about funerals. She went to a family funeral and I'd never been to one. And she literally spent hours talking about this relative's funeral. And I was like, okay, I've never been to a Christian funeral before. What happens? How to go? I had no idea that the first funeral I'd ever be at was her funeral, which was really heavy. I was thinking about that when I was there. And I'm like, I literally discussed with her for hours. We talked about like it was really interesting. And I think that from so many different perspectives, she just gave a lot to other people's lives. And like I said, all these different things I thought about, including the pickles, through this lens of the things that she did to make things better, So I think Blab was there at the right time for all of us. And that's what made it special. And that's what brought us together, I don't think it was some master plan by Sean Puri. It was people who found each other at the right time, who made a long-term impact on each other's lives. And it's kind of weird to see everybody 10 years later, and we all look older, and and still, hopefully, most of us are in a better place. And by knowing each other, that helped moving things better. And it did become the happiest of accidents. I've never seen anything like that before or since. And I feel like that critical part of bringing the right people together impacted all of our lives and made a huge difference. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out and contributing to this. And I really appreciate everybody sharing their memories of Lindsay.
Wow, yeah, I couldn't have said that better. I'm glad you brought up some of those like little things that we did on Blab, like the pickle incident of 2016. Were you there? Anyway, but we do have a couple more coming up. I think we have Jeremy Stoltz was technically next in line, but we're going to go ahead and let ArtParlor go ahead and bring up Jer Bear as well. The ArtParlor and Jer Bear can be side by side here. But what is up, ArtParlor? Thank you for joining. You're one of Lindsay's acquaintances later in her stream life. We met, I think, all met through Twitch, correct? So I'm just going to let you. I'm going to let you.
Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. Yeah.
This has actually been like super beautiful.
Sorry, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Your audio just stopped. You said, "Can you hear me?" And I could hear you, and then no more audio.
No, I'm just saying, like I always have like horrible like technical problems. But anyway, and Lindsay used to help me with those things all the time. But Lindsay was one of those people that I like to call your lightning friends. Like, every like once every 10 years or something, you meet this one person and like immediately you're best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does not happen very often, but like literally from the moment you meet them and hang out with them, you just like can't get enough of each other, and you just like want to hang out all the time. And that is what Lindsay was to me. And I only met her 10 months ago. So I feel like you guys have had this like long entire experience with her. And I think that's just like so fucking fabulous. Like that's what I thought I was going to have with her. Like we met and like instantly got each other because I'm just like a super weirdo, right? And like, you know, we got each other's jokes and she introduced me to Joe and like we also get each other's jokes. You know what I'm saying? But like, I have just adored her like literally from the moment that we met. And you know, she became one of my mods on my stream and I don't know, just like I still have not been able to wrap my head around the fact that she isn't here anymore. Cause like I really, really thought that we were gonna be friends for like years and years and years and years. Cause even though I just met her 10 months ago, like we talked to each other 2 or 3 times a week, you know, like very regularly. I hardly ever miss her stream. She hardly ever missed mine. And I don't know, like I'm just devastated. I can't imagine what you guys feel if I feel the like high emotions that I feel only after knowing her for 10 months. I can't even imagine what it must be like for people like her family and you know, you guys who did Blab, which I didn't even know. Like I'm kind of new to this whole like online world. You know, as far as like online worlds peoples go. I don't know. I'm not very good at like talking about these kinds of things, but I still wanted to be here because even though I've only known her for 10 months, like I loved her so much. And she's done all of the things that you guys have talked about. Like I have also seen those things in her, like sent her something I did and she like helped me with it. Like, you know, like came back and made it better. Like you guys were saying, like, I don't know. I just felt very, very like driven to be here and express like how much I loved her, even though it wasn't like I didn't know her as long as you guys, but like I felt in my heart until this happened that like she would have been my friend for 10 years if this had not happened.
I definitely echo that for sure. She just had that knack. I mean, it's just there's this energy that was about her that was so magnetic that when you start talking to her, it was just her attitude, her persona, her cheerfulness. And so many times I saw this demonstrate out in her own life, and I got to see this and witness this. She would go out of her way to make someone else feel comfortable and feel valued and feel appreciated. And even though they may not have been the best artist in the world or they were just starting out, her words of affirmation would just pierce the soul of anybody that watched and listened and would build up that artist to continue to. I mean, I was one of those people. I was on the receiving end of her love. And man, I'm telling you, it was just wow. And I echo everything you just said, Art Parlor. I really do. Is there anything else you wanted to share? If not, we'll go to Jeremy. But
Not really. I'm just really I've never actually like, you know, lost somebody as a friend at this, you know, at an age, the same age as I am. And so I've had a really hard time with this.
we all
And
have.
I'm not really good at like, I'm usually like a very like goofy person, but like I have a hard time expressing like deep feelings. But this has like really hit me very hard. And even though I'm not like the best at speaking about this kind of stuff, I just still wanted everybody out there to know how much I really truly cared for her and how much she inspired me. And I swear she's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire freaking life. And I miss her like literally like every single day. And I will for like ever. So even though I haven't known her very long, she like impacted my life like so much, especially for somebody like I never met in person. But that's all I wanted to say. I'm not like
Well,
I don't have like the whole like history that you guys have, but
you don't need it.
still like super important to me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be here to share that
No, I'm
you
glad
know,
that
her
you're here.
family.
It's not a quantitative thing, it's a qualitative thing. It's not about how much you knew her, right? And I think all of us feel the same way. And you know, I think the most difficult part is that there's no fixing. There is nothing to do, and you just feel what you feel. Like I called Joe a whole bunch of times just to talk about what happened, and like, you know, we're talking about there is nothing to do, and you just gotta deal with, like, live with it, right?
The
And I think
disbelief of
that,
it all. Yeah.
and that's part of being part of this community, right? Like, you know, connecting with people that, you know, we don't normally talk to, and all remember Lindsay in different ways. And you know, she was involved in so many people's different lives in so many different ways. I think that that's really, you know, I think, like, you know, with this kind of thing, like, you know, Blab Reunion 2.0, she would be the first person to, you know, get on board for putting
Oh,
this
yeah.
together, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, Art Parlor, we love you, and thanks for
Thank
hopping in
you.
tonight.
Thanks
You're
for
looking
having
lovely.
me.
You're looking lovely as always, and I'm sure that we'll do some collabs in her honor in the months and weeks ahead.
For sure. For sure.
Speaking of a collaborative artist, coming from regions and parts unknown, weighing in at 180 pounds of raw steel and sex appeal, the one, the only, the clean-shaven Bear, Jeremy Stoltz Creations in the house. What is up, my brother? How you doing?
Okay, audio working?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, just want to make sure because it was hadn't tested it yet here. So
you're coming through your headset. Is that the one you wanted?
as long as you guys can hear me, it doesn't matter.
You're fine. You go for it.
Yep. So speaking of Lindsay's broadcast, if you go back to September sometime, you will get to see I had a surgery. When I woke back up after the surgery, I got on my phone and she was going live, and I jumped right into her broadcast, fully medicated up, and just started telling her everything. And she just sat there through her whole broadcast listening to me. Like I said, if you want to hear the craziness, it's all on there. It's all in her VOD. But yeah, she, like I said, I was looking to see who I could tell that I was okay, and she was the first person I seen. And you know, she's the one I contacted. So there's so much about her that helped me change. So she pushed or badgered me into becoming a better person. Yeah, it sometimes would take a month of her getting on me to do something, but because of her, I got my own website. I've got my own fourth wall. You know, I did. She said, do these things, and you know, stuff that I wanted to do, but just never spent the time to do it for myself. And she got me, like I said, to be a much better person. I found this when going through some stuff and forgot that I even had it, but it's the picture she sent to me that she drew.
That's your portrait.
Yep.
Let's make that big. Hold on. Let's keep it right there. Hold on a minute. We're gonna supersize that.
But yeah, that's
one of her first portraits that she drew, I believe.
Yeah.
That's when she was very nervous about drawing portraits, and I was like, you don't have to be. Just let the pencil do the magic and just flow with it. And she did it. It's awesome, bro.
But I had it filed away in a drawer over here with a bunch of different artwork from whatever month I was doing, and I was going through showing somebody the stuff, and I ran across that midstream and just was like, you know, whoa. Yeah, so it's just you know, I didn't get to know her in Blab, but I did get her in between Blab and Twitch, where we all joined together on Haps. And I got to know, you know, quite a bit of people because of her. I wouldn't know half of the people on Twitch that I know without her. So I just testament to her parents for the wonderful person she is. So I don't have a whole lot more to say. I just wanted to let everyone know.
We love you, Jer Bear.
Thank you.
We love you. And guys, Jeremy is a huge part of like this insane circle of creatives that we have. And speaking of circles, there's another one in here right now. Her name is DiamondDezz. But myself, Jeremy, Lindsay, Art Parlor, I mean, many others. I don't want to even start mentioning names because I'll inevitably leave someone out. I don't want to do that. But when it gets down to it, the names I just mentioned were at the core. And Sidney, I don't want to forget Sidney because she did Sidney's books and she was working for Sidney and she was doing all kinds of cool things for Sidney. But that was kind of like when she came home from work, the kids went to bed, and she had what was called me time. This is me time. She would hop onto Discord or hop on Twitch. We'd all join in, and we'd be there for the next few hours until we all just got so tired we couldn't keep our eyelids open. We were just like, it was just that's the kinetic energy that I was talking about. And Jeremy, you were such a huge part of that. I mean, you two fueled each other in so many ways. And speaking of that fueling, I'm gonna switch over to DiamondDezz, and an insanely creative individual here, guys. If you've never seen DiamondDezz's art, you've never seen Jeremy Stoltz art, you've never seen ArtParlor's art, you guys need to follow these people on Twitch and look at what they're doing. It will blow your mind. And the fact that we're all getting to witness and watch this art being made, and Lindsay was a huge part of all that, it just blows my mind. Dez, what you doing, girl? How you doing? I know this is a little challenge for you, but I'm just going to shut up and let you go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi.
Hey, Des, how's you doing?
It's okay. We're here for you. We're here for you.
I think this is like one of the hardest things that I think all of us has had to go through. And especially online, getting to know somebody. So I just want to let you guys know that she loved every single one of you, no matter who you are, where you came from, what you did in life, what your background was. You meant everything to her. You were the world. You were her, like Joe said, me time. So she was just amazing, an amazing individual. And I don't know, I'm not the only one that shed a lot of tears, and I know you guys did too. So I know everybody was her family, even though we weren't blood. So I just want to thank the art community for being her safe haven, for a place where she didn't feel like she was okay at certain times. Because and she had some hard times. So I just want to say, well, I don't know what I want to say. It's so hard to deal with. And she got me through a lot of times, got all of us through hard times, all of us. So yeah. So if you have not already and you want to, get yourself a BadgerMakes hoodie.
Yep. Look at that. And I need to get with just a little side note there, Des. I need to get with some of the family members and see that all the purchases that are made through Lindsay's stores, that we can figure out a way to get that funding to the kids and to the family. We got to figure that out. But maybe somebody, maybe one of the St. John's or something, can somehow magically find Lindsay's laptop or have access to it. But here's the thing: I've not let my Twitch subscription go. I'm going to keep it going. You know what I mean? Because I've been subscribed to Lindsay for I think it was 25 months now or something consistently. And I just don't have the heart to cancel it. I just can't. And that's just something I got to deal with, I'm sorry, Des. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
But I saw your shirt and I'm like, yes, her store is still active. You can buy BadgerMakes art now.
I really like this shirt. About 10 years ago or something, I got my first PopX shirt in the mail, and Lindsay sent it to me along with the release of the first episode of PopX. I put on the shirt, and the next day I went on a trip. When I got to customs wherever I was going, the guy's like, "Hey, what's a PopX? That looks like a cool shirt. I'm totally going to subscribe to that." So it was viral marketing influence from the gate. So I think when I saw the shirt, I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." It reminded me a couple years ago, my phone was blowing up and I had hundreds of notifications. Lindsay went in and every single one of my 6,000 food pictures, literally every single one. And I was like, whoa. I messaged her. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I just want to let you know that you're loved.
Oh,
That's right.
she got me through a lot with my artwork. I work in hyper realism now, and I never used to. I always wanted to, and so it was because of Joe, Jer Bear, C.S. Murphy, and Lindsay, that got me into hyperrealism and to stream on Hap. So if it wasn't for you, it was for you guys that got me to stream and to get into my artwork. And then I would rip my artwork because I would get so angry at it, and she would look right at me and be like, "What the F are you doing? You just ripped your artwork? What is wrong with you? Stop." Like, she's like, "You need to have that as a reference for when you go back." So I will never ever rip my artwork ever again. So but I just want to thank the art community for being there and for holding like I said, sacred space for her, and to honoring her the way that you did as an art community, because it really helps a lot in many ways. And I'm not able to process this at all. I'm not okay with funerals. I still haven't watched it. I can't. So I'm not good with groups, and I'm not good with any of this. So I'm not okay with her passing. So
yeah, I'm not.
It's like
I don't think none of us are, to be honest with you. But I want to read something really quick. One of the co-hosts of PopX. Speaking of PopXcast, my cousin Austin Burke, who was the third co-host. It was myself, Lindsay, and Austin. He's not able to join us on the stream tonight because he's got a sick little kiddo he's taking care of. His baby is having some issues, but he went on to say this, and I want to say this on the stream. I love you, Austin. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope the baby gets well. Hey, beautiful people. The baby is dealing with hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is kind of an infant thing. Otherwise, I would be on here. But Joe, thank you so much for doing this. Thanks everyone for contributing. We love Badges so much, and I will miss her dearly. I hope to express that on our next podcast. But until then, thank you all. Lindsay's joy could, all caps, never be matched. I truly miss her smile. Love you all. Austin Burke. And so yeah, since I'm glad that Des brought that up, I'm going to go ahead and post the link to her store. If you guys want to purchase something, we don't know how long her store is going to remain up. I hope the family keeps that store up indefinitely because it's her legacy. She built this from the ground up. The art community, BadgerMakes, she, along with Des, myself, Jeremy, Parlor, we all did this together. And so I just want to encourage the family, you keep the store up, let her legacy live on, and make sure we can figure out a way that all these proceeds and stuff, you guys can have access to that, and the family can use that, because that would be huge for her and for the kids. But Des, I'm so sorry. You want to?
No, it's
say
okay.
anything else?
No. Also, yeah, to the parents or like any to the family, if you can find a really, really good picture of her, to send it to me and I will draw it for you. So I'll do a hyper realistic charcoal for you. So just let me know and what the size you want, and then we'll get that going. So much love from everybody at Twitch, man. From the entire streaming, everybody loves her, man. Everybody. So much love.
Thank you, Des. Thank you so much. And I just want to make sure that we stay on time here. We're going to be wrapping up here in about maybe 20-25 minutes. I know it's Monday tomorrow, and everybody's got to get back to the work week. But if you're in the Zoom call, and the link should be posted or pinned to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. As we approach kind of starting to close this up, we got Sean coming up next. But I just want to say, join us on the Zoom and raise your hand, and that will let my producer, Leland Best, know that you are ready to go up on the camera. And just make sure you got some headphones and you're good to go. But with all that said, Sean, you have the hot seat, my friend. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
How you doing, Joe?
Good.
Audio good?
Thank you for coming in, Sean.
Thank you for having me. Audio good? All right, cool. I didn't I knew Badgers from Haps, and I didn't know her that well until I kind of made the migration to watching Jeremy on Twitch. But I remember, I remember joining her Discord call one late night, and I was just like, it was me, Parlor, and Lindsay, and it was such a crazy night because I remember being up till like maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, listening to Parlor, listening to Badger, and I'm just glad that I got a chance to show my talent with her, especially with like she was always so amazed by how fast I could draw, and I just I wish she was still here with us so that I could share more of my talent with her. Um, but for those of you who know, especially Jeremy, I have a comic book coming out next year, and I have included a cameo of Badger in it as we speak. Um, and hopefully, when that comes out, hopefully you guys look forward to it. But enough with that. Much love to Badger's family, her husband, her kids, the Creative Multiverse family, Joe, Parlor, Dez, Jeremy, all those guys. Um, you know, Lindsay was a ray of sunshine, and like 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 said before, her aura, her energy will never be matched like that ever again. And it's just crazy. It's still hard to believe that she's gone, but you know, her legacy has to live on. And I still think about those late nights where I'm just waiting for her to be in the VC on the stage or somewhere in her Discord, and I see Jeremy's name pop up. I see our Parlor's name pop up. I'm just like, let me join. And she would always be like, "Oh my God, it's Mr. Comic Book Artist, Mr. Talented Guy," something like that. And it's such a core memory, and she will be loved. She's always loved. She'll always be loved, and she will always be missed. So that's pretty much it. But thanks for having me. I don't want to
No,
take too much of the time.
No, you're good, Sean. And just for the record, that's crazy.
I know that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But yeah. I will be the art piece that you shared that I did, I will be doing a more finalized version of that.
Cool.
I just have to get the likenesses right for all 4 of you guys because I suck at it at the moment.
Dude, it looked really good. Like the first rendition of that, I was like, dang, boy got skill. Look at you go.
I cried. Yeah.
It was
when I
good.
saw it.
It was really good. And the neon, the synthwave sun in the background. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good, bro.
I figured it'd be like it would act like a sunset kind of thing.
Mhm.
Kind of like I mean, if you're if you believe in God, you know that like the sunset is a very big part of
Oh yeah.
that kind of thing. So I thought it would be a really nice incorporation
That's
with that.
awesome.
So yeah.
Don't focus too much on the likeness. Focus on the essence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
All right. So, all right. Really quick, we got Matt coming in, who is wildly, renownedly known as MisterBluray. He's getting ready to come up, and we'll get Dez off cam so Dez can have a moment. She's poor thing. She's been on cam for like, you okay over there, Dez? I give you a hug if you were over there. But really quick, guys, we are broadcasting across 4 different platforms tonight, and I just want to stop for a second before we let MisterBluray speak, and just say a huge thank you to Leland Best. Literally has been my rock during this entire thing. He has taken this live stream under his wing and has done things tonight that there's no way it's so hard to try to get all this together, but then do all the back end and the producing. It's hard to be the host and produce at the same time. It's especially on something like this. So I want to make sure we give some love to Leland tonight because he is just knocking it out of the park. And we love you, Leland. All right. We can take Sean down now, and we'll have Mr. Matt in the house. What's up, MisterBluray? Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, bud?
Not much. I'm, when let's see, this just say it just like DiamondDezz. This is hard to say. Um, the day that Joe told me that Lindsay passed away, I was done screaming. And then I just see this friend request on Discord, and it's like, okay, it's from Joe, and I looked at it. It's like, man, really? I just that night I just couldn't sleep. That night I couldn't sleep at all. But like everyone says that, man, she's a connector. She's everything, and she helped me a lot too. And I remember one time she came in my stream and said something that was going on. Then right there, we had like a discussion in Discord, and like someone said, I think it was Cliff, I think, said that and it just she's a diffuser. She just if there's a situation going on, she'll just stop it, right then and there. And but I was always in her Discord talking to her, and we were just having a good old time, and it was just, man, I actually bought one of her t-shirts, and I'll wear it proudly, and I'll probably buy more, you know. And she was like, I always tell everyone that I go into every stream that you are the best ever. Is every stream that I go in, that I just say that because it's the truth, because we are all the best ever. And every single time I say it to her, she's like, so, and it just makes, that's, I just reflect on what she's done. Like, people come to me, and if anyone wants to talk to me, then just come talk to me. And that's how she was. And it's just, man, she's gone too soon. So that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, MisterBluray. Let's get Sean off. Poor Sean's trying to figure out how to get himself off the screen here, and I think we've got you trapped here, Sean. So you're basically in a time warp of cosmic array that you cannot depart from, and so you're just going to be here for the next 48 hours, Sean, if that's okay. We're just going to lock you into this seat. We have SWAT team coming out of your house to strap you into your chair. And they're going to bring you a Happy Meal if you're a good boy. So in about 4 or 5 hours, you'll get a Happy Meal. But anyway.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
So, there's a lot of things that I'll miss about Lindsay not being here, but probably one of the more important ones was that she had a very, very unfortunate birthday. And literally for the past 10 years, I'm not joking, like every year, I would send her a message April 1st and be like, I'm really excited, looking forward to your birthday. And she would write me back and be like, why? Like, what do you excited? I mean, look, it's comes down to either celebrating your birthday or celebrating Hitler. I'm going to go with your birthday, And she was okay with that. So that was like this long-term running joke, During the pandemic, I went to the door. I was like inside for 2 years straight at that point. And she sent me a Sugar Tea and Rum t-shirt, which I'm never going to sing that song again, probably ever. But at the time, it was very topical. And then I sometimes wear that to school and the students start singing it. And I think it's things like that, like these like totally bizarre, unexpected, hilarious things that she came up with. They're just like added color to everybody's life, And those are the kind of things I'm going to miss the most. I mean, I'm not going to go back to celebrating Hitler's birthday, but I think that's just the kind of thing that it was like, it was without fail for like literally 10 years. She would bring it up all the time.
Yep. She had a knack for that. But there's just so many of those little side stories. I mean, they at some point, somebody needs to sit down and write all these crazy little stories up. It's just, there's just so much going on. And let's take Matt off here, and we're going to bring up, while the producer's bringing up Jeeves. We got Jeeves here, longtime fan. Well, we've been with Jeeves since Blab days.
Hey, Jeeves.
Boy's been around for a minute, but it is just, as we're getting ready to kind of close this up here, guys, I want to reiterate, pinned to all of your streams, if you're just joining, there should be a Zoom link. And in that Zoom link, that will bring you into our live Zoom session where you can join and raise your hand. Now, if you're in the session already and you haven't had a chance to share, please go ahead and raise your hand now. So my producer, Leland, will know that, hey, you're ready to go and you want to come join. But we're going to try to wrap this up here in the next 10, 15 minutes. But I want to make sure that everybody who wants to has had an opportunity to share tonight. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, come on over to that Zoom link that's pinned at the top of your chat and join us, okay? There's still time. Nobody's in a rush to get off here tonight. I want to make sure there's plenty of time for everyone. With that said, for the Jeeves. What's up, man?
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to relate to what Sid just said. Can you guys hear me right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
You're coming in good.
Yeah, about that tea and rum and stuff. I remember the song and everything, and I remember the T-shirt too that Lindsay brought. Yeah, and I'd just like to shout out her merch. I was one of her first. I think one of her first when she launched her store. Me and one other person was the first people to buy something off of her store to launch it for her. And my picture is still on her store there under this cup here as a tumbler. So I was really appreciated to do that. And I've known Lindsay for 10 years. We met in Blab with Joe and everybody. So it really, really hurts me when I first heard it. You know, that morning when I woke up and I was like, saw the message on the messenger. And I was like, is this a joke or what's going on? And I go on the call and everything. And Cliff tells me this happened. And I just dropped everything that I was doing that day. Like she meant a lot to me. I've known her for a long time. We've been there. I've supported her with everything and all that. It really hurts. This is very difficult to talk about, but, even when I was back in Thailand, when my dad passed away and stuff like that, I was still in contact with her and everything, going through it and all that. So we're going to miss her. Love you, Lindsay, and rest in peace to you, So, sorry, guys.
All right. Jeeves, man, a few words, but the words definitely strike the heart. I appreciate you sharing.
Yes.
And we love you, Jeeves.
I still got you. I still got you here.
Oh, yeah. We love you, Jeeves.
Thanks, Joe.
I want you to know that, man.
Thanks.
You've been a part of my creative art journey for 10 years, too, just like Lindsay has been. And so
Yes.
has Sidney and Cliff and Moonshadow and Angel and not just everybody. Leland. But
we had hours and hours together on
dude,
streams.
we've clocked some hours, bro. I mean, just
Yes,
Lindsay included in that too. I mean, I don't know how many hours we've clocked online than just chatting.
I know.
But I really do appreciate you. And yeah, Moonshadow says thousands of hours. As we get ready and wrap this up, guys, I want to make sure if anybody, I want to allow maybe a kind of a flow time of about 5 minutes as we kind of start to wind down. But I want to make sure and give everybody ample opportunity if they want to come into the Zoom link. If you don't have or don't see the Zoom link, let me know. I can repaste it for all of you guys and in the chats that you guys are a part of right now on your streams. But there should be a pinned message in your chats where you can come in and join on the Zoom link and be a part of what we're doing here tonight. And Sidney, I want to pass it over to you. Do you have any closing reflections, closing thoughts, or why maybe somebody's kind of wrestling with the idea of they want to come in and share, or do they, whatever that is, Um, you were close with Lindsay on a lot of regards. In some ways, you actually got to travel to Oklahoma and see her and the family and the kids and all that. And I don't want to say some in a summary wrap up like what Lindsay meant to you because that's just impossible to do. You can't do that. But how do you feel the impact of Lindsay Badger will have in our journeys going forward as creatives, as you pursue your life and your ongoing education and your career? Do you kind of feel like you got that little Lindsay Badger on your shoulder, just kind of whispering affirmations to you? I kind of feel that.
I do. I mean, I would say if I look back over the past 10 years, all the important things she was there for, and she was always encouraging moving things forward. I, I was looking through messages that, I messenger from her over the years. And, in 2017, she messaged me and said that, Private Man passed away, you know, and I was like taken aback. But I mean, we knew that he was sick and we knew that he was dying. And it wasn't like this unexpected, shocking thing, and yet she was really sympathetic, like she wrote and said, like, this is like a piece of our community fell apart and it impacts everybody, and with something like this, just like I couldn't believe it. And you know I had a lot of time to think about everything and how it came together. Like, I'm not an artist, I don't do art, I was part of this in a totally different perspective. And like, I think just figuring out what to do next, how to cope, how to figure out what's going on. Like, I talked to Des a few weeks ago when I found out about this, and just like there is no processing that makes it okay. And like, Lindsay's an important part of my life on autopilot, and I feel like that part is missing. You know, I think that she leaves a lot of legacy, which is something really amazing. Like, I went on the YouTube and I saw that she had like thousands of different, videos and posts and all these things that, I'm just telling you from my perspective, looking back at who I was 10 years ago compared to where I am today, I'm a much better person because I met her. And I think that she was like the moderating voice on Blab and Beyond that brought us all together. And I can tell you that, although there was many times when I didn't get along with people over the years, Lindsay was always there. Like, she was my consistent friend day in and day out. And when I needed somebody to run my business, she was the only person I trusted enough to take over everything and not only do an amazing job, but do it better than I ever could. So I'm going to miss her a lot. I feel that she was like a really important part of my life. She was the one that in my life specifically, I talked to her every day for the past 5 or 6 years. She was the one that kept the trains running on time. She was the one that kept things organized in a way that I could never do myself. Like, she was literally a missing part of my brain. And she would send me these graphs and say, this is where you are. This is where you have to be. You make it happen. And like, that's amazing. That's like having, somebody who's like really invested and cares about your life in a way that's very hard for, other people to have. So I'm going to miss her a lot. And I think that she collectively gave a lot to all of us, whatever sphere that we ended up in her life from, whether it was recently or long term. And I'm going to miss her a lot.
Couldn't agree more. And Cliffy, we're going to bring up Leland as well. Leland, go ahead and hop in the spot there where the slideshow's going, because no, that boy ain't shy. Let me tell you something. Leland's not shy, but everybody in the Zoom, kind of stay here for a second, because we're just going to do a nice little screenshot of everyone. But now I know you probably, Leland, didn't really have those logged late night hours like a lot of us did with Lindsay, but you definitely hung out with Lindsay. And so do you have any, I mean, guys, everybody, this is the producer tonight. Let's give it up for Leland Spitfire Best Live TV. Dude's amazing. He has killed it tonight. He has made this exceed far beyond what I could even envision. He's taken an idea and catapulted it. And I thank you so much, Leland. What's your thoughts? You're good. I'll go ahead and let me just round this up while you're talking. You got it?
I got
Okay.
it. All right. Now you should be able to hear me out on the feeds out there on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. So I thank you all for all the comments that I saw come in on the feeds as we were broadcasting. I do want to say, Joe, yes, I've known Lindsay about as long as you have. I met her on Blab in 2015, thanks to just the fact that we were up late at night and doing our thing and finding people and discovering people like you and Cliff and Sid and all the others that are here tonight. And for me, being a broadcaster by trade, it was something that I was looking for. It was that kind of place that we could all hang out and do a show and do a broadcast. You all remember Jonathan Tripp and I started Blab Nation, which was one of the, top out of 10 that everybody went to. It seemed like we had a very large showing every morning at 10 a.m. And you guys would always roll in and say hi because you guys had your thing at night as well. So there was that interim back and forth that we always had of discovery and sharing and reciprocity, which I think was the biggest thing about Blab, is if you had a show, people showed up and shared. And if they had a show, they showed up and shared. And if the next guy had a show, they showed up and shared. And when you saw that face, that little Twitter GIF that went out to show that 4 seconds of people just talking and conversing, it just fired off and it was time to go. It was okay. I got to be on Blab. Why am I out here on, why did I see that Twitter without me being on the show? So Lindsay was always somebody who I chatted with on the back about what was going on when all the Blab drama started. I know you all recall that. She was there for me and a couple others that were involved in a lot of deep drama that still carries on today, to this day, which I can't believe, but it does. And I really hope most of us have grown up past that drama part of Blab that did take place because, we all know it was there. That when you spend all that time with somebody as long as you do, you're going to be like family and you're going to get on each other's nerves. And that's what we did. And like we always have said tonight here, Lindsay was that shining star. She was the one that kept everybody in order. She told us to shut up and get on with things. And it was always her that was the guiding light to help us move to the next channel. So I can't thank her enough for what it meant to her, have her in my life. She was there at our reunion that we did on Get Vocal, which was 5 years after the fact. And then Cliff has done several after that himself with the team over there. So it'll continuously be an ongoing evolution of Blab families, just getting, because we're going to share with our kids, we're going to share with our other friends, and we're going to become more friends with those families. So she's had a impact that I don't think we'll ever be able to fully measure. I really don't.
Yeah,
well
absolutely
said.
not. Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you, Leland, for pulling the levers today. I do appreciate it. I'm a producer too, and I appreciate producers more than most people.
I pulled a few the wrong way. I'll admit there were a few snaps, especially right off the beginning. I think that was fate or serendipitous moment where we had that. I think Lindsay just slid something over because literally, I don't know what happened when I brought Sid on, but everything exploded. I was like, thanks a lot for that, Lindsay. You just wanted to see if I could pull myself out of this, didn't you?
Exactly. She's effing with us, man.
Yeah, you're being challenged tonight, Luke. Yes. That's all it is. Yeah.
And, I have to say, we live in this 3-dimensional world, and especially artists, they live in 3.5 dimensions, right, Joe? And Jeremy and DiamondDezz. It's amazing. Every time I went on the streams, Diamond was there with with Lindsay and Jeremy and Matt. It was just amazing, and to watch. Just I was a fly on the wall for the whole creative community. But going back to, I think what we need to know is that she's in our hearts. Not only did she impact us while she was here, she will continue to do so every single day. And like I said earlier, she's on my shoulder all the time. She's always tapping me, poking me. We have the same headphones, right, Joe? Yep. The three of us. And I just got new, in memoriam, I got new ear pads to keep these headphones because
MDR 7509s, baby.
Yeah. There you go. So, and we joke about things, and it was always so much fun. She always made stuff so much fucking fun. Even the shitty stuff, she would be able to flip it on its head and say, "Done with that, moving on." you know, and like I said, the scissors, she'd be able to cut, she'd be able to roll and with the punches, and just, you know, she was like a master chef with the community. Anybody, one-on-one, amazing stories we heard here tonight about, you know, especially all the time, Sid, and of course, Joe. I have to, if someone doesn't know how close Joe and Lindsay were, you cannot put it in words. I cannot. And I know Joe, I know Lindsay, I know Joe very well. You know, I'm always there whenever. I always tell Joe, you can always call me anytime, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, even if I'm not awake. They were closer than most people in this world that ever get close. Marriages, brothers, sister, mother, doesn't matter. So much connection. And so, Joe, my heart goes out to you as well, knowing that, and my love to you. And of course, you know, Josh and Ethan and Abby, as I stated earlier, there's just not enough words to go from all of us to them and say, you know, this means so much. You know, she meant so much to us while she was here. Finishing the point about the fourth, fifth dimension, she's with us. You can feel her. She's there, not just tapping on us from memory. She's in our hearts. And, you know, that's what she did. She connected to you at the deepest levels. Even when she was screwing around, she just was so authentic, so real, so funny. You know, I still, you know, I still can't believe it. You know, it's one of those people. That's why I said earlier, God must either have a sick sense of humor, or he just wanted her for himself or herself. There's something here that when these good people are taken from us, you know, we suffer. You know, but somebody's loving her right now directly. So I have to say my heart goes out to all of us, because there you go, Leland, with the Blab shirt before I spotted you on the Facebook. Thank you again for all your love for and understanding who she was and sharing that. It's hard. This is the hard part. And she's laughing at us right now. You know she is. I mean, she's like, listen to Cliff. Shut up.
Yeah, he is. She's setting you on your limit right now. I just want to say one thing. As producer, we do want to get everyone out here. If you're still here, please don't leave right away. We want to turn down the framing, which we brought for the show purposes, so that the family could, you know, take this to heart. We're going to cut this up a little bit and edit it so that we have a good final production. I've been recording on the back end as well, too. So we hope to make this a nice polished thing when we're done. And that close will just be to show the family that we were all here together as a community. So
really quickly want to say that Abby Badger just followed me on Twitch. Nice. And Abby, my sweet Abby, if you're watching, Joe loves you. All right. And Joe's proud of you. And I want you to continue going on in everything that you do with your palm and everything you got going on at school. Just continue being a light, you know, and Ethan as well. You guys are so strong, and I am so proud of you. And I'm always going to be here. I'll be like, Uncle.
Okay.
That's
he's
for
your uncle, obviously, yes.
You know, Joe, I have been seeing these posts on Facebook for a very long time about, you know, junior pom camp, etc. And a few weeks ago, I messaged Lindsay and I'm like, hey, I'm trying out for pom at my university. She's like, good luck with that. I hope you make the tryouts. So we're not quite there yet. It didn't actually happen. I did see a cheerleading tryout at my university, and they weren't interested in recruiting me. I mentioned this to Abby when I was in Oklahoma, not impressed. So I think my chance as a cheerleader, Lindsay shot me down. She's like, there is no chance of this happening at all. And unfortunately, that's probably one of those things I'm going to have to let go. That's right. You know, because I kept on sending her these palm updates, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But, you know.
Yeah, I tried dancing with palm too, and it just did not. I ended up curling my ankle. So there's that.
Exactly.
Sid, maybe you can be one of these one day when you grow up.
Leland, can we do a screenshot of everybody in here?
Yes, sir. That's the easy
I want
part.
I want to preserve this moment. Just kind of
There we are.
compose yourself if you can for a moment, guys. This is us. This is
who's
the
left,
community.
Jay.
This is not everyone that spoke tonight, but this is I would say a good core of the people that Lindsay poured life into. Yeah, you're in there somewhere. There you go.
I got in there. I had to flip on another
There you
camera
are.
real quick.
And Stacy's there, but she's got her camera turned off. But she's in the room as well, Stacy Braiuca.
Well, let me do this.
But we love you. And go ahead, bud.
Highlight those who do not have their cameras on. So there are some more. There's a couple more without their cameras on. So.
Yeah. And as we get ready to wrap this up, guys, I truly want to say from the bottom of my heart, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. And in a way, I don't want to say this is closure for some of us, but it is for me because, I didn't get that proper goodbye in Oklahoma like Sid did. But I want to say, Sidney, the fact that Sidney drove all the way down from Canada to Oklahoma to be a part of there, be there with the family and represent the streaming community, that was just a huge thing. And I think from all of us, we just want to say thank you, Sid, for doing that. For me, though, I will continue to move on in ways. The knowledge that she poured into me, I will honor that in my continuing streams and my art. I will always hear her in the back of my head. Now, Joe, that's not what you do. She would just blunt. She would just say it, and I love that. And then really quickly, as we kind of come to a close, for all the family that's watching and the ones that's participated tonight, the immediate family, thank you so much to the St. John's. Thank you to the Badgers and everyone else that may be watching tonight that maybe didn't say anything and maybe is just kind of watching incognito. I totally get it, and I appreciate it. But hopefully tonight that the family, they heard a lot in the eulogy and the services and the days after about this art community and this streaming world. And I hope by tonight, you guys, at least the family, will see just a small fraction of the impact that this woman had on all of our lives. And the people that you see in camera here tonight is only a small percentile of those that she poured life into. And we're just on the receiving end. We're just reciprocal of what she was just dishing out. And I think as creatives, as human beings, as leaders, as mentors, as people who's helping bring up the next generation of creatives, she's instilled in us something that I think I will take literally for the rest of my career. The knowledge, the wisdom, and the panache it is to be a polished creative, a graphic designer, an illustrator. And hey, it's just an amazing thing. And I hope the family tonight can just see a glimpse of the importance that she had in all of our lives individually. So,
Joe, I got two words.
Yeah.
This is very rare for me to have just two words.
That is very rare.
Yeah. So let's all take this in as a moment to appreciate Lindsay as a selfless Sherpa.
That's a good word. No. See you soon. It's exactly right, Moonshadow. Exactly right, my friend. Couldn't agree more. Well, we're going to wrap it up. And again, I want to say a huge thank you to Leland Best from Best Live TV, Best AI Podcast. Be sure to check him out. Google him, find his information, check out his podcast and his live streams. He does amazing things, and he has been just a godsend tonight as in producing and getting all this out and weeding through some of the technical glitches but just overcoming and just not letting it get to him and just pushing through it. That's just absolutely amazing. So we love you, Leland.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, buddy. And so we're going to wrap it up. We're just going to kind of maybe play a little bit of music and have that last slide of just Lindsay's face and the little BadgerMakes logo. We'll let that play for about a minute or two, and we're going to go ahead and end the stream. So whether you're watching on Twitch you're all watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook Live, thank you guys so much for participating. We love you. And as I say at the end of all of my streams, in everything you do, stay creative. Sometimes all you have to do is pick up the pencil, pick up the Apple Pencil, or whatever it is you're drawing, the brush, and begin to paint and draw. It's that easy. Put that pen on that paper and let your imagination run wild. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you soon.